Hello friends, welcome back to more Reddit stories about entitled people, crazy people, and everything in between. Hope you're all doing wonderful. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and we're getting right into today's Reddit posts. Getting an old lady's car towed because she reported me to our property manager. I, 25 male, was doing an oil change on my car in the back parking lot of my apartment complex. I wasn't in anyone's way and it takes maybe 30 minutes. I clean up after myself. It's technically not allowed, but who gives a crap? I'm paying $3,000 a month. I'm not the only one who does it either. I've seen others spending hours on their cars out there. Anyway, this older lady, I don't know, 70s, moved upstairs above me. She's a Karen, constantly in everyone's business and complaining about the dumbest stuff. She walked all the way over to me with her crusty white dog and asked if I know it's against the rules to do mechanics on your car in the lot. I'm like, oh, no, I had no idea. She angrily said she'll report me and called me disrespectful. I just ignored her and finished up. I see her speed walking over to the property manager's office. Next day I get a fine for $20 wedged in my door, saying they received an anonymous report I was working on my car. I was pissed off. The property manager, Dan, 40s male, has rode over on his golf cart to chat with me while I was working on it in the past. He's very chill and doesn't care about most of the policies, unless you are committing a crime or actively disturbing the peace. He apologized and said he unfortunately has to do it once someone puts in an official complaint, since his bosses will see it. They'll make a big stink if it's not dealt with. He told me he personally doesn't care. He suggested I do it late at night when it's past Karen's bedtime. I was kind of fed up with her at this point. I asked if I can make an official report that, quote, someone has a car in the lot that has had expired tags for the last month. Karen's husband's car. He just had surgery, so they haven't been able to get it renewed at the DMV, I guess. Dan started laughing and was like, oh man, really? That's devious, brother. I said, yeah, put that in. Our state gives the right for private property owners to tow any car with expired tags without notice. The car was towed the same day and she flipped the out. It was hilarious. The cherry on top was Dan informing her he couldn't do anything because they had received an official complaint. I and a lot of other neighbors are nosy and watched the whole debacle outside. I piped up and said it's unfortunate how some people need to learn to mind their own business and chill with the reporting. She started crying, saying she doesn't have the money to get it back since it's $300 total. Too many bills with the surgery. Oops. I told my buddies. They think it's hilarious, but I've also heard some of my friends call me a major asshole and went too far, since she's old and taking care of her husband. They said $300 was overkill when I was only fined $20. Whatever. I think she had it coming. She was constantly reporting people for the dumbest things. I mean, she screamed at little kids for coloring chalk on the sidewalk since it's, quote, against the rules. She also reported a teenager for keeping his bicycle on his balcony instead of the bike rack. It gets rusty out there with the rain. He's had it up there for years and never was a problem before she moved in. She's been staying inside for the most part since, so no new reports have come in either. I kind of feel bad since she hasn't gotten the car out of the impound though. Edit. Just to defend Dan a bit here, he does enforce the rules if you are actively screwing around. Like if kids are out here drawing slurs and dicks on the sidewalk, yeah, he's gonna do something. But little girls drawing rainbows and flowers during their summer vacation? Of course not, who effing cares? Except Karen, obviously. Update. If anyone cares, I saw the car in the lot this morning. I believe the grandson got it back for her. She still hasn't done her daily patrolling yet, so maybe she learned her lesson. That was deserved, 100%. The way I see it, it doesn't matter if the result was having to pay $20 or $300. I mean, this lady was the one that started going on reporting sprees, trying to get everyone in trouble for every small thing. Things that obviously don't even affect her or anyone else. I mean, let's be real, she wasn't reporting people with the intent to try to look out for the best interest of the community in the neighborhood. It was obviously malicious and mean-spirited. So all OP did was give her a taste of her own medicine. Today I effed up by getting the bomb squad called to my local park and getting a statewide manhunt put into place. And I'm just going to start off by saying it should be obvious, but don't do anything that this OP did. This OP is an idiot and is definitely the villain of this story. You'll soon find out why. So this all started yesterday. I had left work early because I felt like crap and didn't want to work with a cold. I didn't know what to do with all this free time I've just been granted, so I figured, hey, let's make a rocket. I've seen videos on how to make a rocket engine out of PVC pipe and household ingredients, so I thought I'd give it a go. I picked up all the stuff I needed and made my way to the park, wide open and well-ventilated area. First mistake, I was supposed to use 3/4 inch PVC. I used 1.5 inches. Second mistake, Karen was sitting in the corner of the park hidden from view. You'll see how she plays into this. So my buddy and I spent an hour or so constructing this failed abortion of a rocket, adding much more fuel than necessary and packing too tight. The time comes where this bad boy's ready to fly, and we start taking precautions. We alerted everyone in the area and even gathered a small crowd to watch the rocket. However, we completely missed Karen, as she was hiding in her car on the far end. So we light the damn thing, and instead of launching, it just smokes. Like a lot. Like so much it looked like there was a forest fire. I can't put into words how much smoke this foot-long rocket was producing. We soon realized it's a dud, and we leave it be so it will run out of fuel. Just our luck, a group of track kids come out of the woods to run laps on the track the rocket is chilling on. And they just stop and stare, clearly concerned. We realized our mistake and attempted to put it out, except it wouldn't effing stop. Eventually a kid from our crowd yeeted it into a nearby field, and it eventually died down. We attempted to clean up the mess, but nothing was cooperating. The rocket had eaten a hole into the pavement, and there was molten plastic everywhere. We picked up what we could and left, hoping that would be the end of it. It was apparently not. So my buddy and I are sitting in McDonald's talking over the situation when a large black police unit drove by. Not too suspicious, but they're not common to our area, and this had plating all around it. We joked about it being a bomb squad and eventually forgot about it. Fast forward to the next morning, I get a call from my brother claiming someone had planted a pipe bomb at our park. They had pictures of our cars and had a statewide search in place. Apparently, Karen had to get her titties in a bunch and made a post on Facebook about the ordeal, claiming, quote, 2 men were seen planting an incendiary device at the local park. ASAP, I hauled ass down to the local police station to clear things up. They called up the bomb squad to check to see if it looked more like a bomb or a rocket, and we took the time to go over my abominations. They were very understanding, and eventually got everything cooled down. All that came from it was a ticket for disturbance of the peace, and a warning to not make goddamn rockets in public parks. Info. I know it was stupid, that's why I'm here. I've been depressed and I make stupid stuff as an attempt at a hobby and to distract myself. Even the cops were pissed at Karen for blowing the whole thing out of proportion. Just take it as a funny story for the love of everything. Yeah, calling this whole thing an F-up is putting it pretty lightly. Probably the only wise decision that OP made in this whole debacle was going to the police station to clear things up. So OP was too sick to go to work, but not too sick to go out to the park and make a makeshift explosive. And also deciding to do this at a public park in the first place is just a terrible idea. And then when they find out that their failed experiment is going wrong, they kick it off the concrete and into the flammable grass? Just why? I think the person in this story that OP is calling a Karen had a right to be concerned, but it probably would have been a bit better if she just called the police herself. It probably wasn't a wise move to just post about it on Facebook and leave it at that, because it seems like the person to actually call the police was someone that just saw the post on Facebook. And then it just turns into a game of telephone, so who knows what this person actually said to the authorities. And by then it was already too late, and OP and their friends have already left the park. And I'm just gonna assume that this OP is probably a teenager or probably pretty young, because the way they're talking and the way they're responding to the criticism from commenters is coming off as pretty childish. People in the comments are understandably criticizing what OP did, and OP is responding to this, adding angry edits in the post in all caps, saying things like, "Before you read, I know it was dumb, that's why I'm here. Enjoy the goddamn story." And at the end of the post, he also added, "Quit bitching and enjoy yourselves." And he did post it in the Today I F'd Up subreddit where people share their F-ups. But even so, that doesn't mean you're exempt from criticism. Oh, and he also deleted his account too. Guess he couldn't handle the response. But honestly, what did he expect? A pat on the back? Try to threaten and con a tourist? Well, good luck. So this one is actually about my late mother, who wasn't one for putting up with other people's crap. I was around 7 or 8 at the time. We had gone on summer holiday to Italy where we were going to Venice for the day. My parents hadn't traveled much, and it was actually my father's first trip abroad. So we get to Venice in our car and park up. My parents are trying to find a place where they can buy tickets for a ferry or boat across. Nobody speaks a lot of English. A man sees them looking around and approaches them and guides us towards the small boat. There is another couple in the boat, and he gives a decent quote for sailing us across. My parents accept. However, once on the boat, the price changes drastically, and the man and his two partners become quite threatening and are refusing to let anyone off the boat if they don't pay. After a very long discussion, my parents and the other couple end up just having to pay. They basically all pay all the money they have in cash, which when traveling in the 80s was quite a lot. The boat docks in a small passage, and at the end of it you can see the St. Mark's Square. My mother makes sure that she is the last one to leave the boat. As she prepares to get off the boat, she quickly grabs all the money from the man's back pocket. Yes, he was stupid enough to put it there and it stuck up a bit. Jumps off the boat, and because the men on the boat are so surprised that anyone would dare to do that, they don't immediately react, and we all manage to make it to the square, and so they can't follow. My mother, of course, gives the other couple their money back, and my parents have their money back, and the trip actually ended up costing them nothing. Thinking back, I have to say I am still impressed that she had the courage to do so. Anyway, friends, thank you for watching, I appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel for more Reddit shenanigans. So stay awesome, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.